Hello, friends. Do you love to travel and learn about new places and things? Great! Then you are in the right place. Join Jasmine the cat and Gracie the tortoise as they have fun exploring the USA, the world, and beyond.
Hello, friends! It's Jasmine, the jazzy gray cat, here with my bestie Gracie, the super smart tortoise. Say hi, Gracie.
Greetings, my good friends. Gracie here. I'm so glad you joined us today as we explore more about armadillos.
Hey, Gracie, did you know that armadillos have a shell for protection, just like you? They are like knights in shining armor. But it's not metal armor like those knights had. Armadillo armor is made out of a kind of hardened skin called keratin. You know, like fingernails. Boy, there is sure a lot of stuff made out of keratin. The armor is made up of solid plates and flexible bands. This cool stuff is on most of their body, even their head and tail. It is way better than the armor knights wore. That armor could weigh up to 55 pounds. Talk about super heavy. I don't know how those knights could move.
I don't think the knights moved very fast. Armadillo shells are different from tortoise shells. My shell is a solid dome of bone, while an armadillo shell is more flexible, made of bony pieces of that hard skin.
So, your armor is a little different. Another way you are different is that an armadillo is a mammal and the only mammal to have a shell. Armadillos are related to sloths and anteaters. I think we should learn more about those cool animals too. I wonder if armadillos speak with a Spanish accent. Their name in Spanish means little armored one.
I don't think they do, Jasmine. Armadillos are rather quiet, making only grunting sounds, much like a pig. Although there is the hairy, screaming armadillo who makes a loud screaming sound when it is scared. The giant armadillo is the largest, growing to almost 5 feet long and weighing up to 119 pounds. Altogether, there are 20 different kinds of armadillos. They like it warm and tropical and live in the southern U.S. and Central and South America. Most of them like to live in open spaces, but some enjoy a forest home.
Like you said before, Gracie, armadillos are unusual looking. They are roly-poly guys with short legs and strong curved claws. They come in a bunch of different colors, from pink, really cool, to dark brown, black, gray, or yellow. I would really love to see a pink one.
I'm sure you would. Nighttime is the best time to spot an armadillo because they're mostly nocturnal. To keep cool when it is hot during the day, they stay inside their burrows. Armadillos prefer the cooler times of early morning, dusk, and nighttime to find their favorite foods such as termites, other insects, worms, roots, and small animals which they slurp up with their long, sticky tongues.
Armadillos are pretty peaceful and don't like to fight. When they get scared, they usually run and hide in the closest burrow. They run pretty fast, too. But when one armadillo is trying to get into the burrow and another wants to get out, they can get stuck. I bet that looks funny. Hee hee. Instead of hiding, some armadillos jump up to 4 feet in the air. That's really high. Another, the 3-banded armadillo, rolls up into a ball when it's scared. These guys look so much like a soccer ball that one time the 3-banded armadillo was the mascot of the World Soccer Cup in Brazil. Talk about being famous.
Some other kinds of armadillos are the 9-banded armadillo, Brazilian 3-banded armadillo, Southern 3-banded armadillo, Screaming Hairy armadillo, and the Pink Fairy armadillo. Which one did you pick?
Oh, Gracie, need you ask? My armadillo of the day is the Pink Fairy armadillo.
I should have known. I'm all ears.
Gracie, I thought you didn't have any ears. Back to the Pink Fairy. It's the smallest and obviously the cutest. How big is it? Only about 6 inches or the size of a dollar bill. The pink fairy armadillo lives in the deserts of central Argentina. What a bummer, not here in Pennsylvania. Of course, it isn't really a fairy, but it can be just as hard to find as a fairy. Pink fairies like to hide underground, and they're hardly ever seen. One scientist looked for one for about 13 years and never saw any.
What do they look like?
So glad you asked. Pink fairies have a shell, but they also have soft white fur on their bellies and sides. This pink shell is special because it's only hooked onto the back along the spine. Pink fairies use the shell more for temperature control than protection. The thin shell has blood vessels in it that control the body's temperature and give it the pink color. Pink fairies also have big feet and claws that are great for digging through the sand. This sand digging gives them the name sand swimmers because they can dig through the sand really fast and look just like fish swimming through the water. Pinks have really large feet with giant front claws that are made for digging. Last of all, even though these cuties seem like they would be perfect pets, they're not. Pink fairies are not happy as pets and need to stay in the wild. So, no pink fairy for me.
What wonderful information. I'm glad you understand how sad a pink fairy would be as your pet. Now, my armadillo is the one who lives in North America, the 9-banded armadillo. They come from Central and South America, but now they have found that the southern United States, with places like Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, are great places to live.
Why are they called the 9-banded armadillo, Gracie?
As you might guess, their name comes from the fact that they have 9 movable bands of armor across their middle.
That makes sense. Tell me more.
Like most armadillos, they are nocturnal and love insects. As a matter of fact, a 9-banded can eat thousands of ants in just one meal.
Yuck.
Perhaps you'll like this fact a little more, Jasmine. 9-banded families are usually made up of 4 babies at a time, quadruplets. Also, the 9-banded are jumpers. They can leap up to 4 to 5 feet in the air when scared. They're also excellent swimmers, holding their breath for up to 6 minutes and can walk underwater.
But how big are they?
They are about 2.5 feet long and can weigh up to 15 pounds.
Definitely bigger than my fairies. I have another cool fact. Armadillos have been musical instruments.
I don't think I understand that, Jasmine.
No problem. I'll explain. A long time ago in the Andes Mountains of South America, the shells of the armadillos were made into musical instruments that were a lot like guitars. Now these instruments are made out of wood. Turns out the music sounds better in a wooden one rather than an armadillo.
And I'm sure the armadillos are happy about that.
Oh, yeah. Now that we know lots about them, time for armadillo jokes. What's an armadillo's favorite Valentine gift?
I know, a heart-shaped shell. Now, Jasmine, why did the armadillo go to the amusement park?
To try the roller coasters, of course. My favorite fact was that 9-banded armadillos have 4 babies at a time. Ooh, that's a lot of crying. How about you, Gracie?
My favorite fact was that armadillos are the only mammals with shells. How about you, friends? What was your favorite fact? Don't forget to tell someone you love.
That's right, and come back next time for those anteaters and aardvarks who kind of look alike but are not related. Bye now. Say goodbye, Gracie.
Goodbye, my dear friends. See you next time.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining Jasmine and Gracie on their adventure today. Come back next week for the next one.
Hello, everybody. It's Gwen here. If you want to know more about the places we visited, just go to our website, jasmineandgracie.podbean.com, and go to the sources page, and you can find out all about the great places that we visited. See you next week. Bye-bye.